Hello, and welcome to the Online Creators Association Monday Night live stream, which I wrote an introduction for once, used it once, and then immediately lost it. Joining us tonight is Argid Hollow and Cecelia Gray. Why is the stream set to that?
Who knows? Do we have control over anything ever? No.
No.
It's like a vague sense of control. The fact that I'm just pulling a news link right now and sending it to the Discord because I saw it and I liked it. All right.
Yeah, so normally for the Monday stream, we spend like the hour before the stream getting ready to talk about various news stories. Tonight, I spent that hour getting the webpage for the upcoming talk series set up, which means that we have not looked up news stories. But if you go to the link that I'm dropping in chat right now, you can find information about Toka's upcoming talks, which is arguably more important.
I don't think it is more important. It's okay to say that it is more important. The talks are all going to be at 5 Eastern. Saturday, February 26th, we have our Black Creators panel. Sunday, February 27th, we have our Disabled Creators panel. Saturday, March 5th, we have our Fat Creators panel. And Sunday, March 6th, we have our Queer Creators panel. Everyone participating is wonderful. They are sort of like all of these people that have cultivated really wonderful followings and are really thoughtful. And I'm excited to see what they do in a room together. The goal of all of these talks is to give people in these groups that have been so marginalized by TikTok space to talk about their experiences, both good and bad, outside of a space that TikTok has control of. Like we know they've done, like they did an Indigenous panel recently. They did, I believe, a Latine like Hispanic History Month and did a Latine panel. They did a Queer Creators panel, but all of them have been not great experiences for the people involved. And there is certainly an air of we need to be grateful that we are here. And that's not necessarily going to yield the most honest results. So that is what we are hoping to do. We're doing this in conjunction with Arizona State University, and we hope that this will be sort of an ongoing partnership that we can sort of keep doing more panels down the line with more people. We know this doesn't cover everybody, but we specifically did want to touch on the most marginalized groups on TikTok and the ones that were specifically cited in the AutoR policies. So that is the talks, and I'm very pumped about it. Someone just said good morning to me in my chat. I don't know where you are, but I am fearful. I'm not thinking about the night bloggers. I am the night bloggers now. In terms of news on TikTok, we do have Argit found a new little like micro feature, kind of. Might be new, might not be new. Have never seen it before.
I'm very excited about it because it looks like we're finally going to be able to put footnotes on our videos.
Basically. Yeah, I'm calling it like a poor man's playlist because you can link back to at least 4 additional previous videos, which is cool. But it's also still a little bit confusing unless you start to type actual text between them too, because like what I did a test video just to myself because I just pulled every garbage video at the top of my feed and it will just say Argit Hollow, Argit Hollow, Argit Hollow. So the other cool thing that I am hopeful for is I'm wondering if they might give you the ability then to also like cross post into somebody else's video.
I would absolutely cool. I would love for the editing ability, because we can't edit stitches. I would love to have the editing ability of a normal video, but for me to be able to cite like Watson's video on grieving on a video that I did about grieving.
Yeah, just be able to like do a hand stitch, but also actually connect it to the source video.
Exactly. And I would like, it would be really, really nice to be able to sort of put those footnotes in that. That would be so good. It would be so good. And also,
it does seem kind of like TikTok is finally getting the hang of putting in features that we want.
Don't say it out loud.
But the thing that I think most like about that is that will enable me to, on every single video that I make being an asshole to J.K. Rowling, I can then send people to the 3-minute video breakdown of all of like what her arguments are and why they are bad and why they are designed to make you think they are reasonable. And this is why TERFs are so insidious. Like, I would love to be able to immediately just funnel people back to the source. Poor man's playlist, indeed. So you can do it like up to 4?
At least, yeah. But I'm sitting here, but it's incredibly cumbersome because you can't multi-select. It looks like you're supposed to, like the way that if you like click on multiple images to try to like put multiple images in, it looks like you're supposed to be able to do that. But you click on the one and it will either open up the video so that you can like watch your video. And then when you click on next, then it pulls you back to the portion where you can start editing like into your caption of the video that you recorded. So you do need to record at least a little bit, and then you can just like tag into other links below, like breadcrumb into your other videos.
It's interesting. This combined with, I keep calling it reblogging.
Yes.
Reposting.
Repost.
I'm gonna keep calling it reblogging.
Just start calling it reboot. Like we'll bring back that show together.
We're just gonna revine it. So
it's also like for some people it's called recommending, which is a much more accurate name.
Yes.
Because what it does is recommends the videos to your mutuals. Which, by the way, I had an update on that. I am very excited about how that feature is playing out because I recently saw a video. It was an activism video. So just like talking about a terrible thing that happened and explaining the political significance of that thing. The kind of video that's been bombing for like 2 years. And like right before that, like right about the couple months that I got on TikTok, it was like one of the biggest kinds of video. Like they would blow up every time. And then TikTok figured out how to make those not show up. And then they stopped showing up. And I mean, I think what happened there was they figured out how to make it not show up for the time being because Trump was trying to kick them out of the country and then didn't put it back. But I think they've the reposting feature seems to be enabling videos like that to blow up again. Because that video, which like absolutely a month ago would not have like gone anywhere, it would have gotten like 1,000 views, was at over 100, I think nearly 200K last time I looked at it, and had been reposted by 8 of my mutuals.
Yes, we've had this conversation approximately 1,000 times. Post blackout, all of the measures that TikTok put into place to keep potentially sensitive content away from the For You page and keep like one group of people from ever taking over the For You page again meant that no blackout after that blackout has been as successful. And it's sort of been like this sort of slow decline into, yes, maybe your individual For You page will change, but it doesn't hit the news in the same way. It doesn't hit everybody's For You page. It doesn't hit people that don't normally interact with this content anyway. TikTok got better at isolating us into our little bubbles. We talked about the ways in which like we can't rely on the algorithm. We have to rely on a human network to get those kind of videos out there. And the way in which we were talking about doing it was, you have to tag people into videos, liking and commenting, watching it all the way through, sharing it, posting it on other platforms, all of this other stuff. The repost feature might actually be the human network that we were looking for. Mm-hmm. Because I know
this can make it like,
and you're 100% right. It would have bombed a month ago.
Because reposting can make could make a blackout-like event blow up on the For You pages of everyone in a very wide network of people who give even the slightest fuck, but also not show up on the For You pages of people who are literally just there for cats.
The thing is, I mean, yes, there's always going to be people that are like untouched by this because, again, they are literally only there for cats, and TikTok has now decided, like, yes, you can in fact just be in your cat bubble, and that's fine. And we've talked about like the networks that we can see of people on TikTok, like TX and I are in the same network because we have a lot of mutuals in common, and we are talking to all of the same people and interacting with all of the same content most of the time.
There are people that universe.
Leave me alone. It is Hank Grayson. Hank is like the hub of this like particular this like particular network of people. Like if you go back far enough, everybody's following Hank. But the whole thing of this is that there are people that are bridges out to other parts of TikTok. Thinking of this very literally because like we are in the midst of like the council and the sisterhood stuff, and we are talking a lot about like who is bridging out to different places on TikTok and what's an island and what's not. There are people that like have two separate networks that they are kind of the bridge between, and they're not always the people you think they're going to be. They're not always like the people with the most followers. And so those are kind of the essential people. And I desperately want to finish networking out that list so we can maybe say like, hey, by the way, if you want to reblog this, tag these people in here, because their network's out to other parts of TikTok and we can get this going.
We need to add that to the list of projects to maybe do with ASU later.
I think it's on the list. It's on the list in my head.
We need to write down the list.
Shut the fuck up. Why would you say that to me?
I just recorded, I haven't had the chance to edit it yet, but I just recorded a TikTok about why I don't meditate. And it's because like all of those open loops in my head, I'm worried if I'm practicing just letting go of thoughts, I'll let go of thoughts that I need. Like
I'm holding the ends of the strings, okay? The reason the thoughts are racing is because there's a lot of strings and I keep having to pull them back down, all right? Can't
you could just put that one in Airtable.
Yes. If you're trying to meditate like more correctly, it is okay to just follow those thoughts, but you're trying to mellow down and not go to that thought and just stay on the one thought.
I think that what you're describing is rumination.
No, that's not it. That's not it. Real question now. Real question now. Do we know if repost / recommend shows to all of your followers or just mutuals?
As far as we know, it only shows your mutuals. What we know is that it only shows your mutuals that you reposted it. And all it does, apart from that, is make it more likely to show up on some people's For You pages. We don't know whether it makes it more likely to show up on your followers' For You pages if you are not a mutual, but it doesn't tell your followers that you reblogged it unless you're a mutual.
I get the sense that it's unlikely that it doesn't have any effect. Like, you know, there is that one video that 8 of 8 people that you are mutuals with have now reposted. It's unlikely to me that like a video that you and then 8 people you also follow got reposted and TikTok isn't noting that and pushing it out to some of your followers as well as some of their followers because they're like, oh, this little cluster of people's talking about this. I bet their followers would be interested.
Yeah, I think there's basically 3 possibilities. One is that it literally only makes it more likely to show up in your mutuals feeds, and that the reason that it helps with engagement is just because those networks are powerful. Like that network effect is powerful. 2 is that it makes it more likely to show up for your mutuals and also the rest of your followers. And 3 is that it just counts as a general like analytic point, and it makes it more likely to show up for anyone.
Who knows? We've had the feature for 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah, and it could be any combination of those 3 things in any like relative magnitude. Yeah.
We don't know yet. But yeah, it does appear to be your mutuals. And the human networks on TikTok are strong. That is the couple of things that TikTok did not realize it was good at, that parasocial relationship building into real relationship building that happens among people that are TikTok mutuals a lot of the time. It didn't anticipate being good at that, but it very much is. And there's a very strong culture of like making sure that you go and check in with your mutuals and go like their stuff and like go leave a comment. Just, it surprises me every day that there's like actually a supportive community. Every goddamn day.
I'm going to tangent just a little bit because I found out in one of the kind of most awkward way, but not like awkward's not a good word for it, but it was just like, oh, I have been following 2 creators for quite a while. And apparently they were almost thinking about dating at one point. I had no idea that they knew each other, like whatsoever. And then all of a sudden something kind of blew up overnight and they were like, whoa, by the way, this is not what we intended. But it blew up overnight. And I'm just sitting here like, I did not expect any of that. This is an interesting Sunday evening, Monday morning, because I saw her video last night and his video this morning. And I'm just like, I haven't checked if they've deleted anything or whatever, too, because they're trying to come to an amicable resolve, last I knew. So I'm not going to drop names today, but I just was just like, that's one of those other things, too, that there are some times that no matter how much you look at your lists, you can't see the connection.
No, this
It's
is
very like
I have this thing of sometimes like within the Toka server, people will bring up people to me and they're like, "Do you follow them?" And I'm like, "I have a long ass message chain with that person."
yeah.
Because no one knows who is mutuals with who, and it's all like very, unless you're very very open and like constantly collaborating with that person, it's all a bit nebulous.
It doesn't happen super often, but one of my favorite things on TikTok is when people post in your comments recommending that you check my videos out.
Favorite.
Yeah.
The couple of times that it has happened, I have had to fight the urge to be like, I can't fucking stand them. Like, I just like cement in somebody's mind
Right.
that I actually do not like you.
Next time it happens, respond, yeah, no, I have them blocked. And then I'll respond, yeah, no, that's true.
Perfect. That's exactly what I want. That's exactly what I need. I'll actually do a comment reply to the video, letting everyone know that I've got you blocked.
Yeah.
And then you can stitch the video saying, no, that's true.
The other day, a sound came across my FYP again, too, about somebody being like, do a Google search of like, why are insert your zodiac sign here so into Google and see what it says. And I'm like, God, that voice sounds so familiar. It must just be because I've heard the sound like 1,000 freaking times. So I did a repost of it, because, and I even looked at the sound and I'm like, I don't know who any of these people are. Da, 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 da. And my friend comments, she goes, hey, that's my voice. And I went, I knew that sounded familiar. And she goes, yeah, I don't know why, but this other person re-uploaded with my voice. And I was just kind of like, oh my God. And she's like, it's okay, don't remake it. I love this. And I'm like, okay, great.
Favorite fucking thing. I actually not. There have been a number of times where my real life best friend has sent me TikToks. There's no point to the TikTok other than they used your voice. That's the whole message. And I'm like, Sofana, I do not need to hear my own voice. I hear it in here all fucking day.
Yes.
The novelty of it at first, of like my friends getting on TikTok much later than I got on TikTok, and them realizing that other people used my voice all the time, and them getting videos, because we are the same people, using my voice coming out of somebody else's body. Mm-hmm. And that was like 3 solid months of my life, was my friends sending me TikToks being like, they used your voice. The video got more likes than yours. I know, it's better than I am. This is the game. It's the game we're all playing.
I don't know if it's because for myself, I just don't care, or if it's because my stupid dumb brain doesn't care. But every time somebody is like, I made this sound and it was so great. And then other people got way more likes than me. And I'm like, I don't understand. Like I do feel bad for you. I can empathize with that. But I'm always like, I don't get it. Especially if you have a following, like if you're somebody like me, like I have 1K nerds following me for no reason other than we occasionally talk about nerdy stuff, right? And then if I post something, I never expect it to like take off. So I would never sit here and be like, oh, okay, well, if somebody actually reused my sound and they have like 1 million followers, I would never be like, okay, I'm upset that they got more likes than me, because of course they're going to.
As somebody who has been out-liked on every single popular sound, almost. I think there's one that I haven't been out-liked on, because fuck off. There is an element of Yes, the haha funny lady make joke, and the pretty hot lady get
Mhm.
like. And so
You're right.
there is an element of that deeply upsets me. Where like occasionally I would be like, listen, go back to the source and like the source too. The place where it get like for me, it's just like, God damn it. For other people, there's an element of digital blackface that comes in a lot of the time. Where you will see all of the top people on a sound are white and the creator is black. That always rubs me the wrong fucking way.
Same.
There's like a big element of like not the re-uploading of sounds. That's the shit that actually pisses me off, because it's like, now I'm not even getting when will I be funny? It's never gonna happen. I'm actually the least funny woman who's ever lived. But like the whole element of taking somebody's voice, re-uploading it, and then literally profiting off of somebody else's voice, who more often than not is a black creator. Knock that shit off. That's the place where it gets weird. When it's like the core function of the app, as was said, I can't get mad. It's how the app works. I can't get mad that the world's smallest octopus that I've ever seen has more likes than my dog, because that octopus was the smallest octopus I've ever seen in my whole life. And that was worth it.
Oh, for the small boy sound.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also want to respond to the like they got more likes than me because they're hotter than me thing. Just for the benefit of the like self-esteem and sense of self-worth of our members, of like token members and aspiring content creators. That is an oversimplification. What's actually happening there, like sometimes, like, yeah, it's literal like conventional attractiveness. A lot of the time what it is the accounts that are getting more likes are doing more work to specifically cultivate the delusional parasocial relationship that the people liking those videos have a chance with the creator.
Yeah.
And that is not like a physical quality, that is a content style choice.
That is a different thing. It's just
like if you want to maximize your chance of stalkers, then you could probably be getting a lot more likes too. Everybody makes compromises on their accounts, and like a lot of people who make funny sounds make decisions like, I don't want anyone to know my phone number.
Right.
I don't. Funny story. I absolutely do not want people to know where I live or my phone number or my job. So that's all private, and I don't cultivate a weird relationship with my audience where they think I'm going to sleep with them. Feels like a healthy boundary that I have. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Anyway,
I feel like to double back on myself and cover all of my bases, I think there was an implicitly judgmental way that we just talked about those creators. They're not necessarily, not all of them are necessarily doing something morally wrong.
No. That was unfairly judgmental of me. And a lot of the time, especially like earlier on this app, I've established such heavy duty boundaries around myself. I did have somebody try. I had two people try to figure out where I lived. I had to get a lawyer involved with one of them. The like lengths you have to go to not become one of those creators, because like people will do it for you. Like your followers will do that for you without you even trying, and you actually have to actively work against it all the time. Most of the time it is not something they're consciously doing. And
it's also never the victim's fault when they're being stalked. No matter how friendly they are in their content, it's always on the person who is crossing boundaries. Like that moral fault is always with the person who's crossing the boundaries, not the person who not the person who is comfortably being friendly with people in spite of like what we do, like what you and I do to prevent strangers from obsessing over us is doing the work they should be doing for them. processing for them out loud
Yeah.
that they shouldn't think of this as like a close relationship.
Yeah. Being conscious of just never telling people that you love them on stream, and never being too amicable with people in the comments that are, Nicholas, no, get out of, stop it.
Right.
But when it comes down to it, it's the responsibility of the audience members not to be stalkers, not the responsibility of the creator not to be stalkable.
Yeah. I live at 1234 Internet Street, and that's all you need to know.
That's where I live. We all live on Internet Street. Can you shut the door? Thank you, Nicholas.
I have that other sound in mind that like, oh, you know, I'm funny enough for the like, but not funny enough or not hot enough for the follow. I'm just like, yes.
Yeah, I was thinking about that earlier because I recently saw a video. I recently saw a video where somebody finally did the math on that and pointed out, like, because this occurs to me every time I see that sound, but I don't want to be that petty doing math in anyone's comments. But like, a person can only follow you once. They can like more than one of your videos. Everybody has more likes than follows.
Yes.
By a huge margin.
It's true. Micah, you do not. I've been to your apartment. I know where you live. It's not a blog. It's a house.
You know what that city's built on.
Oh.
It's true.
That
to be fair, my city is also built on a swamp.
Yeah.
That's where most cities are built.
Uploads of personal stories. That is such a weird trend right now too, especially for the people who like, so like sometimes they re-upload a personal story, sometimes they link back to the sound, but half the time those sounds are ripped from Reddit anyway.
People reading the Am I the Asshole
yes,
and like doing a craft.
Yes,
I am transfixed by those videos. Like,
yeah.
I don't get them all that often, but when they pop up, I'm like, this is scratching both weird parts of my brain where I want to hear everyone's business, and also I'm watching somebody make something that I can't make myself.
It's like those silicone, those satisfying putting the color into silicone.
Yeah, it makes the colors.
Press it. Gotta watch it. Gotta watch it every time.
Roll it up and then they put it back in. You gotta mix the colors.
There's a couple of weird ones where they're cooking like gigantic amounts of something, but you only see one person. Like,
only videos so I've been using, because I'm trying to be a good social media person, I've been using Reels a lot more, not necessarily posting on Reels, but just existing on Reels. Every sound on Reels is absolute garbage. I would love to inform everyone. There are the sheer number of sounds that I receive that are like, most people won't like something that's just from a small business, and it's always somebody making slime, and like I'm so tired. So it's as you would expect. It's on a surface level. When you log into TikTok for the first time, it is, as my mother described, just boobs, boobs, and boobs. On a surface level, when you log into Reels for the first time and it's not acclimated to you, and you don't, the algorithm is not like looking for what you want, it's ads, which absolutely tracks. It tracks. Yeah, just like it's Instagram.
Doing some internet sociology off the top of my head, when new platforms get invented and they don't have an established user base, the content that goes into those platforms is really basic, because like it hasn't had, like, the culture there hasn't had time to build up layers of irony and self-reference that make content interesting. When a site like Instagram or a platform like Instagram makes a new platform in itself, it's still going to have that phase of everything here is really basic and lacks the like nuance to make it interesting, because we don't have the stuff everybody's responding to yet. But like, the base material is not random people checking out this strange new place. The base material is people from the source platform trying to take this opportunity to capitalize on a potentially lucrative space.
Exactly. I had a moment when I first logged in where I was like, am I following all terrible people on Instagram? Like, do I need to reassess what I'm looking at and like it? I literally went, I was like, why is this so bad? Like, why is Reels so bad to me in particular? Does Reels think I'm stupid? Does Reels think, ooh, let's let this woman just watch soap cutting videos over and over again because that's all her little brain can handle?
No, Reels just hasn't been born yet.
It just hasn't been born yet. It's still cooking.
It's still
Like,
in the egg.
it's still
gotta
me.
hatch.
And also thinking about the people that are like actually making money off of their content on Reels. I know a couple personally, and they are making content that they would also put on TikTok. So it's out there. It's somewhere in the mess, but you have to really spend a lot more time than on TikTok.
Yeah.
TikTok is efficient, and that's good and that's bad. It's mostly bad, but like Reels is. I swear to God, I have been scrolling for like 15 minutes a day every day for the last week, and it still hasn't really gotten better. It's given me a couple of things that are not, again, people guilt tripping me about their fucking small business, cutting
Right.
soap, and people
Right.
using filters, and that's the entire content of the video.
I don't know how much you use Snapchat, but like Snapchat keeps trying to
Refuse.
suggest all that stuff too.
I absolutely refuse. I can't.
And I'm like, I have to. It's the only way my sister will communicate with me.
got rid of I got rid of it. We all downloaded it.
That's okay. You don't have to. I'll stay on that trend.
I downloaded it sometime after college, and I refuse to get it back. I'm not playing.
You don't have to. Because other than communicating with my sister, because like it's a crapshoot if she will ever respond to a text or a phone call. It has to be Snapchat. Therefore, I am on Snapchat. Almost like 99% of what I do on Snapchat is just to communicate with her because it's the only way I can get a hold of her.
Yeah, because she's got to keep that streak going.
Yes, she does. Not with me, though. That shit can drop. And I said to her one day, I'm like, should I be offended?
I'm very offended.
Yes, Reels is Pergonante.
Pergonant. Will Reels be its own thing, or will culture follow TikToks? So this is a thing that I think about a lot. With the thing where other platforms are all holding each other at gunpoint and being like, you can be more like me, but I can be more like you. No one will beat me. I feel like we're too far into TikTok existing for other platforms to not be trying to make short form videos like TikTok.
Yes.
The thing is, cultures are made of people.
Instagram
and the people who really make up the culture of TikTok are people who are on TikTok.
Yes.
So the people who are going to make up the culture of Reels are necessarily going to be a different set of people almost entirely than the people who will make up the culture of TikTok. So it's not going to be the same. Like, it can't be the same. Even if it's like demographically identical set of people, they're not going to have the same history because they weren't using Reels during the 2020 election cycle.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, they don't have that deep history of like, this used to be a cosplay app, or like this used to be a lip syncing app.
God, what happened to the original plot?
In the same way that like,
oh God,
TikTok doesn't have the history that Tumblr has of this used to be like an aesthetics and mood board site.
Yeah.
Remember when this was just mood boards and I reblogged a single line of text, no caps, no punctuation, that says, "Do you mean this Google drives itself?"
Yeah.
It used to be like, let's be aesthetic, and now the aesthetic is just shitpost central, and I love that so much. Yeah, but it's something about the shared history and thinking about like who Instagram belongs to as a space and who has shared history on Instagram. It's a lot of makeup artists. So yeah. I imagine like that's the eventual evolution of this. And that is the content I get that is not small business guilt tripping. Is occasionally I will get a reel from a makeup artist that I follow that's doing like really cool, because makeup artists at this point are moving into like really like wonderful, weird editorial into
Yes.
like full on art kind of makeup. It's not the same scrolling through the exact same like 2016 full face beat Anastasia Beverly Hills dip brow looking like eyebrow kind of makeup trends. It's very, very different now, and it's very interesting. But I think that's probably one place where people are going to start to latch onto.
Yeah, it's like weather forecasting. It's hard to predict what exactly is going to happen in the future of Reels or TikTok, but we can tell you with a great deal of confidence that if the starting conditions are even a little bit different, the outcomes are going to be wildly different.
I'm just thinking about the like who else is on. The only people I can think of that are still sort of like using Instagram regularly are businesses, and so I do imagine that there will still be a pretty strong undercurrent of like these are business things only. Yeah, Instagram is a bit of a wasteland at times, and I think that's post Facebook takeover of Instagram, it stopped being a place where you go to like fully deep fry every single image you've ever taken of your friends. And like started being a place where people were networking and promoting their businesses. And I don't think it's recovered from that. It feels like LinkedIn with pictures sometimes. And LinkedIn is a vast wasteland that I am on because I have to be.
On a certain level, there's no saving a social media platform that has a real name policy.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is true. That's why Facebook has fallen so far from when it used to just be the cool thing that my cousin was on because she was in college.
Yeah.
God.
Well, because now it's gone mainstream.
Facebook was MySpace for college
It's
students.
become meta.
Remember how you used to be able to like put a song and just absolutely blast out your friends' eardrums on MySpace?
Remember how you used to be able to write malicious code and it would just run when somebody visited your MySpace page?
All right.
Oh,
Why did they let
God.
people do that?
It wasn't that they let people do that. It was that they were like, again, this is just one of those things about the internet that, all of the non-dark web internet has always been like, it's a toy. It's something fun. It's entertainment. People aren't going to fuck with other people. How wrong were they? I still remember the
sole purpose of the top 8 is to
Rickroll
fuck with people
of the early 2000s. So you would get sent a link and you'd click on it and it starts playing Rick Astley's. It's never going to give you up. And it plays and it says, click here to close this. And you click it and another box appears over here. So you have to click here to close it and another one goes over here. So
I remember this.
So that's why browsers have changed so much too, because they closed all those loopholes that prevent people from like doing it that way. Like you can still, obviously the internet is still kind of a dangerous place, but you can't do that kind of crazy malicious stuff anymore.
Every day I wake up and I consider making my Tumblr look like a GeoCities website. Just taking the time to do that for myself to remind me of where I came from.
Yeah.
I don't do it because I don't have time, but I think about it a fucking lot.
That's like anytime I kind of want to take a step back, a good memory step back into the past, I go back to Lissa Explains because that's where I learned how to code.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. I haven't heard
I remember when like significant websites that a lot of people used would have like a fully like complex photographic background of like a brick wall or something, and then like 255 red, 0 blue, 0 green text.
Yeah.
And you just had to highlight the whole page so that you could read it with like the highlighter acting as a background.
My my personal favorite website that still exists, that still has this like vibe about it, is in fact the Heaven's Gate, the cult, their website, because they have a website. That website is still up, and when you go visit it, it is full on just like angel fire circa 1997. I love these little remnants of the old internet that are still around. The Space Jam website gone?
I was literally about to say it's a shame we lost the Space Jam website.
Thank you.
They updated it when they made the new movie, and like they did that like a week after I did that panel that
So
what was it?
Whatever panel you
quiz
did.
night.
great.
One of the quiz nights, I did a quiz, and one of the categories was team, because all of the categories in my quiz were just the different ways that you can arrange those 4 letters.
Yeah.
And I was very proud of it. The last one was meta, and all of the questions were about my motives for the way that I arranged the quiz. But the team one was just about the Space Jam movie and website. And like a week after I did that quiz, they finally updated it, the first time since 1995.
Fuck. What a loss. So depressing. I
actually signed into LiveJournal for the first time in like a decade. Because they're still around.
I don't even know. Oh, thank fuck! It's still there.
I did go also to Dead Journal, but like that's completely gone. The whole website is nuked apparently, and I was looking that up. I was like, oh man, what rock have I been under? Not that it matters, because who does that anymore?
I think the
whole online blogging.
There was the Zanga purge that happened, where like they got rid of every Zanga blog, and I was like, good.
I have excellent news. First of all, the site still exists. Secondly, it's still one of those very, very old sites where the URL doesn't work if you don't put www.
Oh, fantastic.
It's not.
I'm very proud of them and their commitment to realism.
Okay, does the really big button that doesn't do anything still exist?
On here?
No, which one?
Probably not on there, no, but just in general.
Yeah, exactly. The design is offensive. That's the point, and we all love it. There's just something about like clearly somebody put this together, and they're like, this looks great, and it doesn't. But you know what? There's something very charming about that. I like it.
It's functional.
It works. It burns my eyes.
Because that was back in the day. It's like, can I make it work? Great. Who the fuck cares about accessibility or readability or anything about like that? Like just click. It'll be fine.
I'm trying to. There was an X-Files fan site that had the most offensive shade of lime green text that I've ever seen in my entire life. And it was so bad that I believe I copied and pasted it into a Word document just to be able to like read it at all. I'm trying to remember. It's around. I'll find it again. It was deeply upsetting.
I was talking to Max a while ago at the hypothetical future social media site designs. One of the things that I really would love to implement in a social media like blogging platform is randomized seeds for the aesthetic of your site, so that you can just keep hitting randomize and like till you find a seed you like, but like the system is designed so that you can't be like breaking ADA standards for like contrast.
Fair. That's fair. But what about that lime green writing that absolutely burns your eyes and you put it on like a teal background so you can't even read it at all? Then you gotta highlight it.
Yeah, that would be an example of something that couldn't happen on this website because it was random seeds, not just sliders.
No, just all the way up. Saturation, 100%. I do miss these little pieces of the old internet where you could just assert yourself and your existence in a very weird way. All right, I put. We've just absolutely been talking about. Well, that's not true. We've been talking about the internet, which is not an invaluable like exercise. Yes. But like, I did.
Just gather around, children.
Some articles. I think the second article that I put was more interesting than the first one. The first one's just about money, and I don't want to talk about money. But like, Also, Watson, did you look up the story about the guys that bought the copy of Dune for $2.6 million?
No, I forgot what the story was.
You just got to Google that, and it will come up. I wrote a comment on a video about it that said, how do I get in the business of scamming crypto dudes? Because it seems very lucrative. A
crypto group buys an original copy of Jodorowsky's Dune for 2.6 million euros with the absurd idea of releasing the work. The Spice DAO crypto group is already the new owner of one of the original copies of Jodorowsky's Dune book, a compendium of original images, illustrations, and sketches from the French-Chilean director who attempted to make the film of the classic science fiction work in the 1970s before Lynch's version or Villeneuve's more modern version. Don't know how to pronounce that director's name. Jodorowsky's Dune was a montage of madness with a version of up to 10 hours, according to the director himself. Behind the payment of 2.66 million euros to Christie's, the historic auction house has awarded Jodorowsky's work to this DAO, a decentralized group of Dune fans. The same group has published today on their personal Twitter account that they are the new owners of this exceptional book, with an ambitious intention to release Jodorowsky's book, produce an animated series, and sell the rights to a streaming service. Too bad they couldn't be more wrong. Buying one of the original books does not give rights to its copyright. It has merit to manage to collect the 2.66 million euros and then make a statement showing it has been misunderstood how things work. According to to Spice DAO, their mission is to try and release the work and try to sell the rights. But nevertheless, despite the large amount of money invested, that original work does not confer any right on intellectual property. There is also the fact that it is a single book, however speculative it is. It is not even the only one, because among creative directors and producers, it is estimated there are at least 10 copies of Jodorowsky's Dune. One of them was sold 3 years ago for about $42,500. The relationship between authenticity and the value of a work is often confused with copyright rights, particularly in the crypto and NFT world. Having an original copy of the NFT does not mean that rights can be obtained, since these are in the hands of the original creator. In this case, it would be Jodorowsky. The intentions of this group of investors to make even less sense, since the book was scanned and photographed in 2021 and is currently available to everyone through Google Photos. No need to pay or participate in an auction.
This makes me think of that stupid realtor commercial from years ago that was like, I didn't even know enough to know I didn't know. This fucking guy right here, poster child of that sentence.
I'm so proud of Christy for letting that happen.
Yeah, just let it happen. Fully let it happen. Like, Christy's good job. Come here, buddy. Come here. Let me take this photo. Yeah, great job to Christie's for being like, oh, these crypto dudes that are weirdly big fans of Dune, we're going to take 2.66 million of their dollars. Whatever their cut of that is, because they do take a hefty cut. Honestly, good job. Oh my God. It's the fact that, like, the layers of it get worse. You know,
Yes.
it's that, yes, they bought the book. That does not confer copyright. Like, that's not how copyright works.
Also, it's not the only book.
Not even the only book.
Yeah.
Also, the images are all available on Google Images for free. So that's why I commented, how do I get into the business of scamming crypto dudes? Because it seems very lucrative, considering they thought all they had to do to get the copyright to Dune was just buy the book.
Did you hear the thing about the monkey NFTs?
What thing about the monkey NFTs?
You know those ugly monkey pictures that were... Yeah. So they were meant to be characters in a fighting game. And the idea was you'd buy your NFTs and then you'd have access to that player in the fighting game. And then after like all of the characters were sold, the person running that project disappeared completely with all the money. The artist also didn't get paid, also got fucked over. So like example of crypto being good for artists.
I am never gonna get over this.
The community of people who bought those NFTs collectively elected the person who had spent the most money as being responsible for the investigation.
What? Why?
What he turned up was the guy left and we can't do anything about it. And then a dude who sells like pixel art images of celebrities for cryptocurrency put out a statement of condolences saying that the video game he's working on is going to be even better and also real, and that anyone who is affected by this tragedy has like pre-sale rights for like a first offer on the new on that dude's NFTs.
And also real.
You know how people get so caught up in the idea that they are smart that actually they become stupid?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's this entire sector.
Oh God.
So because I was like, I need to understand this because NFTs are going to keep coming up and I actually need to understand what's going on here and like the ins and outs. And one I listened to that Behind the Bastards, which absolutely fucked me up because they don't even own the rights. They don't even own the rights. They just own this fucking link. And the link breaks all the time. So there's that. So they're not even buying intellectual property rights. Like, what the fuck are they buying? Anyway, so there's that. But also, I decided to make an image that I could then crypto, like NFT style, just reskin over and over and over again. Made 10 of them, started a fake Instagram for them. Do you understand the immediate flood of, there's like 1,000 followers on there already. It's all scams. It's all bots. It's all people trying to get you to send them crypto in exchange for fake followers. Every single crypto account is probably 50% fake followers bought with other crypto. It's insane. I went through the whole process of like doing a transaction, which, by the way, don't recommend. Because the absolute insanity of it being like, we can only do 7 at a time.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing about the whole story. Like, Bitcoin is hard-coded to limit the number of transactions that can happen with Bitcoin to 7 per second, and people want this to be a global currency.
So sometimes the transactions just fail because there's more than 7.
Usually the transactions just fail.
Usually. And there are like other cryptocurrencies out there that don't have that same limit on them. The transaction is still insane. Like moving money from the app in which you buy it into the app in which you can use it, which, by the way, are never the same fucking app, to the website in which you have to put the money to buy the NFT. All of that takes days. Days. Not hours, not minutes, not seconds like fucking JP Morgan. Days. So and this was with Ethereum. And so like this is like the most insane thing is like over the course of that time, I like gained and lost money because the transactions took so fucking long.
Thank you, Music Mike 77.
I can't do this. Anyway, none of the apps work particularly well. The Coinbase wallet in particular asked me to sign in again and then prompted me to give them my like secret passcode, which is like 7 words that you have to remember in a specific order. Like it's a fucking, I don't know.
Spy movie where they just expect you to like, yeah, okay, got it.
But there's that, and they did that, and then I was no longer logged into my account, and I actually can't get back into that account. It basically like overwrote the old account with a new account. It prompted me to make a new account. And I was like, I don't want to do that. And I tried to log into my old account and it logged me into a new account. Nothing is built to work because they all know it's a grift. It's insane. I lost 25 American dollars to these crypto motherfuckers. But like that's in the transferring over of the wallet where it overwrote all my information with new information. It was like, actually, you're not hooked up to anything and there's no money in here. Goodbye. Like, this is how they're just getting away with murder. It's wild.
Yeah. So on
anyway,
the question you were asking earlier of like, what are people actually buying when they buy an NFT? So normally when you have money, what you have is a set of like tokens, either physical objects or like digital information that are fungible. They can be substituted for any other token in the category. And that is what makes them functional as a medium of exchange. So NFTs are when you buy a piece of a currency that doesn't have that quality, that is the only quality of money.
Sorry, someone in my I can talk. Someone in my TikTok chat said, did you see the Tumblr blog that crashed and burned because one of the 12 mods made NFTs?
I mean, I didn't, but that sounds so extremely Tumblr.
It sounds exactly right. Apparently, it was
like that just sounds immediately like what would have happened if Sonic for Real Justice had happened in 2021.
This week, a mod of Your Fave is Unfuckable blog, an 18-year-old named Rice, who was exposed as a former NFT creator.
Okay, so not like was making NFTs as part of the blog, was exposed as having been an NFT creator elsewhere.
A former NFT creator.
Parentheses
derogatory.
Isn't NFT so recent that it's like it just feels surreal to think that somebody is now considered a former NFT, or is it had just been all around longer than I realized?
It's been around a little longer.
Yeah, it's been around since at least like 2016 off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait. And the rest of the blog's mods proceeded to quit one by one during the ensuing drama explosion. The references at the end of the video to Sonic for Real Justice. Yeah. So when someone made a breakdown and like compared it to Sonic for Real Justice, which is one of the best Tumblr stories that's ever existed.
But yeah, no, the reason that NFTs seem very recent is because they really blew up in popularity as a way of mediating art sales right after the US government passed some new tax regulations that made it harder to embezzle money using art sales.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shocking. The auction house that, I can say it now because he doesn't work there anymore. Phillips Auction House actually auctioned off, did like a night of NFT auctions before my fiance left for his new job. And he just distinctly remembers it being like one of the weirder crowds that has ever shown up for any auction. And like they regularly do jewels and watches, which attract all kinds of oligarchs. But like the NFT people in particular were just a lot, as you would expect.
All right, we are 2 minutes from the end of the night. We didn't get to any of the articles we had that mentioned TikTok.
Nope.
We've got a set of talks coming up pretty soon in February and late February, early March. We're doing a series of talks in collaboration with Arizona State University. They're going to be panels with marginalized creators from different groups to talk about their experiences on TikTok. TikTok hosts events like that sometimes where they get a bunch of creators together who have a similar marginalized experience and have them talk about what they experience. And having TikTok in the room really seems to have a dampening effect on the quality of those conversations. So we want to host some of those conversations without TikTok there. You can find more about that at officialtoka.com/talks. There's a little bit of information there now. There will be more information later. Apart from that, you can also join us on Discord at the link I'm dropping in chat right now. Our Discord server is open to anyone over 18, and anyone over 18 with at least 1,000 followers on TikTok can apply to become a comrade, which is a Toka member. And that gives you access to like community spaces with other creators, resources, like, you know, the inside scoop on stuff that we're sort of working on, but not certain enough to publish for everybody yet. And finally, you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/Toka. Patreon support is a huge deal for us. It's why we're able to do any of this stuff.
It's why specifically we are able to do the roundtable talks that we're going to be doing. We are paying all of the participants, and that is really, really important to us. We are a labor organization, after all. We want to be able to pay people for their time.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thanks, everybody, for coming, and have a good night. Bye.
Good night.